Hi girls and guys, it's Mr. Track here and we're on the right track. So one thing we've got used to with Epic Games and Fortnite is the weekly updates, and it is definitely very clear that Epic Games want to improve this game, sometimes to their own detriment. A perfect example being the guided missile. It was not well received by the majority of the community, in my personal opinion. And it seems like they keep tinkering with things because they want to balance out the game per se. Today they have tweeted out something on their website. I'll pop it up on the screen. Counterplay and playstyles. We are going to continue to make changes to evolve the game and give players multiple ways to counter each other in combat and create more strategies to win the game. Fortnite is constantly evolving. Our goal with any change is to keep the game fun and interesting, keeping it feeling fresh and new. It is important to support a variety of late game strategies that don't boil down to just building lol. We strongly believe that the evolution of Fortnite supports a wide range of playstyles and counterplays. Currently the superiority of shotguns, rockets and uncapped building are such a dominant playstyle in the final circle that most other strategies are being drowned out. Recent and up and coming changes. We have made a few recent changes recently, and we'll continue to make more to give you options to counter other players in combat, especially in the late game. We are exploring changes to weapon balancing, resource economy, e.g. resource caps moving forward. So where does this leave us? You should be able to find victory royales through multiple strategies. Shotgun should be strong, but other weapons should have room to grow. Not every encounter should have to end in a build off. We want to empower you to showcase your skill, strategy, tactics in all variety of ways. We'll be exploring these changes over the next few weeks. We're excited to hear your thoughts and encourage you to participate in the discussion of our various social channels. If you're asking me, while this may please some, I think it's going to upset the majority, the vast majority. The fact that the game is called Fortnite and the main mechanic that makes this game stand out from every other game there is the fact that you can build in it, and I feel if there's any type of cap with the building in this game, it's absolutely going to destroy it. And it just seems to me now that they are less bothered about balancing the game. It seems like they just want to do what every big corporation aims to do in the long run, which is water down a game so everybody can play and everybody can do well in it. And I don't think this is the way to go, because me personally, as I've said many a time on this channel, I've always been a Call of Duty guy. I criticise Fortnite to the absolute T in terms of it looking like a child's game. Little did I know that when I actually played it, the mechanics of this game, and this is just my opinion, takes more skill than most games I've ever played, including Call of Duty. The learning curve, it took me weeks to get good at this game, so I don't feel like I want to see it get watered down just for some type of equilibrium. You're supposed to get better at the game if you want to survive in the latter rounds, and although they talk about different strategies are strategies, and at the end of the day, when somebody is better than you, that strategy is always going to work. And I always feel, in my personal opinion, that building is going to dominate in this game, because that is what this game is all about. That's where you get protection from. It's not H1Z1, it's not PUBG. I can't understand for the life of me why Epic Games would even consider doing something like this to lower themselves to the standards of the other games that they have surpassed quite easily. Now, I have been critical of Epic Games before, but the majority of the time, I'd say 99% of the time, we make criticisms of them when they say they're going to introduce something and then they blow us away. The only real criticisms I've had for the game is the guided missile and the llama. I just don't get why they nerfed the llama. There's only 3 on the map. There's 100 people playing the game. Why would you nerf something that is so rare that you can take off somebody if you kill them? Again, it comes down to catering and pandering to players that don't want to put in time into the game and invest to become better players. And this is the very reason why I left the Call of Duty series, because game after game after game after game, something was implemented new for new players that went against the accomplished players who paid their money and grinded out their hours to get better at the game. Even Daquan has bumped in on this to say that he thinks it's a bad idea, and this is one of the most prolific players on this game, and I agree with him. I'll pop the tweet on the screen right now. This is what he had to say, but for me, it's just it's the start of something that they shouldn't be doing, in my opinion, and it's the start of something that could be the very downfall of this game. Nothing lasts forever. There are plenty of videos that suggest that Fortnite will die because of overdevelopment, and this is the first time I've actually thought to myself, you know what, it's a possibility. It's a possibility. Now I could be crying wolf here. I could be being such a drama queen, but I'm sure many of you listening to me now share the same concerns as me. The shotgun nerf, I understand why it was done, but a lot of people have been upset by it, but I get why it was done. And to me, it does take more skill now to use the shotguns, because you have to get headshots, and you've probably got to get 2 of those. One shot to the face was an issue for me, especially if I had 200 health. Now, the fact that the gold shotgun is now the holy grail of shotguns in the game makes perfect sense to me. I get why they've done that. Them nerfing the RPGs and the grenade launchers so you can only have 12 RPGs and you can have 18 in the grenade launcher with 6 already loaded into it. It makes sense because people just spam these at the end of the game, but the core function of this game is building. It's what has made this game a phenomenon, the building aspect. People are in awe of people like Myth because of their building. Nick A30, the fact that he can edit so fast. These are the things that are pulling in views for this game time after time, day after day. And the time that you take this away is when you affect a whole economy. Epic Games, I think you're making a really bad decision. Guys, tell me down in the comment section, what do you feel about this? How do you feel? Do you feel like it's a bad choice? Do you feel it's a good choice? I really think it's a bad idea. The amount of times I've heard people say to me, why do you love Fortnite so much? And I say it's a great game, and then they say, oh yeah, it would be a good game if there was no building. There are other games out there for people that want to play that. This is the biggest game in the world right now, and the moment that you start catering for people who don't want to build is the very moment that you just fade back into the background and you become a plain Jane. You become beige. You just blend in with everything else. You're a standout game. Epic Games, really, you need to pay attention to what you're doing here, and you need to listen to the community, which is something you are very good at. So I hope you see the uproar you're about to cause, and I hope you turn on this decision, because me personally, I don't think it's going to work. I think it's going to be to the detriment of the game, to the detriment of the community, especially when you're about to do something as big as the Fortnite World Cup. Guys, feel free to agree or disagree with me down in the comment section. Like the video if you feel like the game should keep the building the way it is. Dislike the video if you think that should do this change. Whatever, I don't mind whatever ratio is on this video. It's all about expression at the end of the day. Guys, there are many buttons you could hit, but a like and subscribe button, I hope they took your fancy. And as always guys, don't forget to stay on the right track. Peace.